Have you ever looked at the clock and seen 11:11 again? Have you run into the same person 3 times in a single day, across different parts of town, as if fate itself were tugging at your sleeve? Have you ever thought of someone, and just moments later they call you? These are not mere coincidences. These are whispers from the universe, and once you begin to listen, you can never unhear them. There is a sacred language beneath what most call reality, a code embedded in time, space, and experience. This code doesn't speak in words. It speaks in patterns. It echoes in signs. This language is synchronicity. Carl Jung once described synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence, where inner reality collides with outer events, defying the logic of chance. But what if there's more to it than just meaningful coincidences? What if synchronicities are spiritual breadcrumbs, placed intentionally before you, guiding you toward your soul's highest path? You see, in the ancient world, nothing was random. The flight of birds, the fall of leaves, even the way your shadow stretched across the earth at noon, each was believed to hold a message. The ancients were not superstitious fools. They were fluent in the symbolic language of the cosmos. But in today's age of logic and machinery, we've lost this sacred intuition. We've replaced wonder with calculation, and yet, synchronicities still appear, quiet, persistent, profound. Like cracks in the facade of the material world, they offer glimpses into a deeper order, a hidden hand organizing our chaos. They are the fingerprints of the divine on your daily life. And they're not random, they are tailored to you. In this video, we're going to decode the mystery, not just what synchronicities are, but why do they happen, what they mean, and how to read them. You will discover the 5 different types of synchronicity, from the echoes of thought to the choreography of dreams and strangers. Each type carries a unique frequency, a different kind of message, and once you know how to interpret them, your life will never feel the same again. We'll dive into ancient teachings from the Hermetic mysteries, Vedic philosophy, indigenous wisdom, and modern psychology, uncovering the truth that lies hidden behind the veil of coincidence. By the end of this journey, you'll see the world through new eyes. You'll walk through your day not as someone waiting for meaning, but as someone decoding the divine. So if you've ever wondered, is the universe trying to tell me something? The answer is yes, and tonight we begin the translation. To understand synchronicity is to peel back the veil of the material world and glimpse the architecture of the invisible. Long before Carl Jung coined the term in the 20th century, sages and mystics across time spoke of this sacred phenomenon in different tongues and metaphors. Though the word synchronicity is modern, the concept is ancient, buried deep in esoteric traditions that view reality as interconnected, symbolic, and conscious. In the heart of ancient Egypt, the priests of Heliopolis studied more than just stars. They studied patterns. They believed the gods communicated through symbolic resonance, a kind of divine rhythm that echoed across time and space. If a certain bird flew east at dusk during a ritual, it wasn't just biology. It was instruction from the gods. The external mirrored the internal. The emerald tablet, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, contains the famous line, "As above, so below. As within, so without." This is the very heart of synchronicity. It means the macrocosm and the microcosm are mirrors. Your inner world and the outer universe are not separate. They are speaking to one another in a loop of meaning. The ancient Chinese sages held a similar view through the lens of the I Ching, the Book of Changes. In that system, patterns of change, falling coins, shifting sticks, were not random, they were oracles. Each configuration held symbolic meaning, a mirror of the unseen energies shaping your present moment. It wasn't about predicting the future. It was about aligning yourself with the present fully. In Vedic philosophy, there is a profound metaphor called Indra's net, an infinite web that stretches across the cosmos with a jewel at each intersection. Each jewel reflects every other jewel. This is not just poetic, it is ontological truth, a spiritual model of reality where everything is connected to everything else. You are one of those jewels, and when something ripples in your life, like a thought, a dream, or a strange coincidence, it sends vibrations across the entire web. What we call synchronicity in the modern West The East has long been known as Arta, the cosmic order, a sacred harmony that underlies all phenomena. When you're in alignment with Arta, the universe begins to respond to you, not through language but through coincidence, signs, timing, and flow. The indigenous peoples of the Americas, Australia, and Africa also understood this. To them, the world is alive. The rivers speak. The wind has memories. And animals are not merely beasts, but messengers from the spiritual realm. A deer crossing your path, not a random event. A dream of water, not just your brain discharging thoughts. Each is a communication meant specifically for you in the language of nature. In these traditions, synchronicities are not unusual, they are expected. They are the natural result of living in harmony with the earth, your ancestors, and your soul's path. Now let's move forward in time. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and mystic philosopher, brought this ancient knowledge into the modern psychological conversation. After parting ways with Freud, whose view of the psyche was mechanistic, Jung dared to explore the irrational, the numinous, the spiritual. He coined the term synchronicity to describe events that are meaningfully connected, yet have no causal relationship, like dreaming of a scarab beetle, and then seeing one appear in real life, though it's rare in your climate. To Jung, such events pointed to a deeper structure of reality, what he called the unus mundus, or one world. This was a level of being where psyche and matter are not separate, but two expressions of the same underlying order. Synchronicity, Jung wrote, is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. Jung believed synchronicities often occur during periods of spiritual transformation, crisis, awakening, deep inner work. Why? Because these events break the ego's illusion of control. They hint that there's a greater intelligence at work, that you are being guided even when you feel lost. Even in modern physics, whispers of synchronicity echo. Quantum entanglement shows us that particles separated by vast distances can influence each other instantly, as if reality itself is not bound by space and time in the way we once believed. In theoretical circles, the idea of a holographic universe suggests that the entire cosmos may be like a giant projection, where each part contains the whole, just like Indra's net. These are not mere speculations, they are scientific doors, opening onto mystical landscapes the ancients already explored. So what does this mean for you? It means synchronicity is not a glitch in the matrix, it is the matrix. It is the subtle thread tying together your thoughts, dreams, intentions, and experiences into one unified tapestry. It is the signpost, the signal, the whisper from your soul reminding you, you are not alone. You are on the path. Listen, in esoteric schools, whether Hermetic, Rosicrucian, or Kabbalistic, students are taught that the universe is not inert. It is responsive. It bends, echoes, mirrors, and reflects. And if you train your perception, if you attune your inner being, you begin to notice life is constantly speaking to you, not in language, but in synchronicities. Now that we've uncovered the rich and mysterious history behind this phenomenon, it's time to get specific. Now that we have explored the sacred lineage of synchronicity, from ancient seers to modern visionaries, it is time to open the scroll and read the signs for ourselves. Because not all synchronicities speak in the same dialect. Some arrive as subtle nudges, others like thunderclaps. Some emerge from thought, others from time, space, or strangers. Let's now unravel the 5 core types of synchronicities, each with its own rhythm, message, and spiritual instruction. These categories are not fixed compartments, but more like elemental forces, sometimes overlapping, often working together, always guided by the deeper intelligence of spirit. Have you ever had a thought and within moments it materializes? You are thinking about an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, and your phone buzzes. It's them. You contemplate changing careers, and later that day you see a billboard asking, "Ready for a new start?" This is not a chance. This is a thought echo, where the internal idea vibrates outward and meets its reflection in the external world. In esoteric thought, the mind is not a prisoner of the brain. It is a field, an energetic frequency that interacts with the larger field of the cosmos. These synchronicities reveal something essential. Your thoughts are creative forces. Every time you focus, imagine, or worry, you're tuning your frequency. And the universe? It responds in kind. The mystics knew this. In Hermetic teachings, this principle is called mentalism, the all is mind. Your inner world creates, or at least summons, external circumstances, and thought echoes are the proof. But beware, they don't always confirm desire. Sometimes they reflect fear. The key is to observe without judgment. When a thought echo occurs, ask yourself, what energy am I truly projecting? Is this a sign of alignment or a lesson in awareness? This type of synchronicity is the universe's way of saying, you are not just thinking, you rebroadcasting. Next, we meet the repeating symbol. You see the same number over and over, 1111, 333, 777. You keep dreaming of white feathers. You stumble across the image of a snake in books, ads, and songs, all within the same week. These are not aesthetic coincidences. These are symbols, the alphabet of the soul. In ancient mystery schools, initiates were taught to read symbols the way one reads scripture. Each image, number, or animal carried archetypal weight. When something repeats, it is the universe underlining a message. Repetition is emphasized. The number 1111, a signal of alignment, spiritual awakening, portal opening. The snake, transformation, shedding of identity, rebirth. Feathers, messages from higher realms, your guides drawing near. But here's the secret. The meaning is not just universal, it's personal. The symbol must be filtered through your soul's lens. What does it evoke in you? What memories, fears, or fascinations does it stir? Because the external pattern is only half the code, the emotional response it triggers in you is the rest of the equation. To work with repeating symbols, keep a synchronicity journal. Document what appeared when and how you felt. Look for themes, not just occurrences. Use tools like dream dictionaries, tarot archetypes, or numerology for deeper decoding. This type of synchronicity is the universe's way of whispering. Pay attention to the recurring song your soul is trying to sing. There are moments when timing becomes divine. You arrive late, but at the perfect moment, you miss a train and meet someone life-changing while waiting. You're delayed from a meeting only to receive life-altering news during that pause. This is divine timing, one of the most powerful and humbling types of synchronicity. Unlike thought echoes or symbols, this one is orchestrated beyond your will. It rearranges time, space, and circumstance to place you exactly where you need to be, often without warning or logic. To the ego, it feels like an inconvenience. To the soul, it is perfection. The ancient Greeks had a word for this, kairos, the opportune, sacred moment. Not chronological time, but timeless timing. This kind of synchronicity reminds us you are not in control. You are in harmony. It teaches trust. When things don't go according to your plan, perhaps they are falling into a greater one. To work with divine timing, practice surrender. When delays arise, say, this too may be guidance. Stay open in in-between spaces, lobbies, elevators, lineups, waiting rooms. They are portals in disguise. Look back at the seeming accidents in your life. How many of them were necessary for your greatest breakthroughs? Divine timing is the universe, an S way of saying, I will move mountains to meet you at the right moment. These three forms, thought echoes, repeating symbols, and divine timing, are the most common initiations into synchronicity. They often appear early in one's spiritual journey, acting as guideposts, confirmations, and spiritual nudges. But there are two more rare, more mysterious, and they require deeper sensitivity to understand. We will explore living mirrors, when other people become reflections of your inner world dream bridges, when the subconscious creates messages that spill into waking life. Each of these holds a truth that will shift the way you see everyone and everything around you. Now that we've walked through the first three types of synchronicity, thought echoes, repeating symbols, and divine timing, we turn now to the more elusive forms, the deeper layers that often require heightened awareness and a finely attuned spirit to perceive. These are the synchronicities that don't just whisper, they reflect, they awaken. Have you ever met someone who, without knowing you, speaks directly to your soul's current struggle? Someone who tells you exactly what you needed to hear. At the very moment you needed to hear it, or perhaps more mysteriously, Someone shows up in your life carrying the exact emotional energy you've been wrestling with internally. Anger, joy, confusion, grief. These are living mirrors. In esoteric terms, everyone you meet is a projection of your inner architecture, mirroring hidden beliefs, suppressed emotions, or unacknowledged truths. In the mystical Kabbalah, this is the idea of tikkun, soul repair through relationship. In Buddhist teachings, it's the doctrine of interbeing. You are in everything and everything is in you. A difficult person may be mirroring your repressed rage. A kind stranger may reflect the love you've been denying yourself. A stranger's warning may be the echo of your soul's own voice, finally making it through. These synchronicities are not casual. They're confrontational. They don't always feel comfortable. Sometimes they crack you open. To engage with living mirrors, ask, what is this person revealing in me? Be honest, especially when it's uncomfortable. Bless the messengers. They may only appear for a moment, but their impact can echo for a lifetime. Living mirrors are the universe's way of saying, to see yourself clearly, look through others. And finally, the dream bridge. This is when your subconscious becomes a prophetic stage, where symbols, guides, and scenarios form bridges between the inner and outer worlds. You dream of a place you've never been, and later you find yourself there. You dream of an ancestor, and the next day a family story resurfaces. You see symbols or animals in a dream, only to find them waiting for you in waking life. In indigenous and shamanic traditions, this is not fantasy, it is travel. The dream world is real, not metaphorically, but spiritually. And synchronicity becomes the validation of that reality. Dream bridges happen when your spirit has seen something before your body has caught up. In Jungian psychology, this is called the transcendent function, when the unconscious and conscious minds communicate through dream imagery to bring healing or evolution. To work with dream bridges, keep a dream journal at your bedside. Upon waking, write everything, even fragments. Note any themes, recurring symbols, or people. Watch how these symbols begin to appear in your waking life. Dream bridges are the universe's way of saying, your soul is already walking ahead, catch up. These 5 forms of synchronicity are more than categories, they are gateways. Each one invites you into a deeper relationship with yourself, your purpose, and the intelligent mystery that weaves all things together. Now that you've learned how to recognize them, the next question is, what do you do with them? How do you live with synchronicity as a practice, a guide, a sacred compass? It's one thing to witness synchronicity, it's another to partner with it, to walk hand in hand with the unseen, trusting that every pattern, every sign, every mysterious encounter is a thread in your divine tapestry. Now that you've learned the 5 types of synchronicity, thought echoes, repeating symbols, divine timing, living mirrors, and dream bridges, we move from understanding to embodiment. Because synchronicity is not just a phenomenon, it is a practice. It is an art that sharpens with time. It is a spiritual discipline that rewards devotion. It is a dance with destiny. Let's explore how to invite synchronicity into your life, not as a rare occurrence, but as a daily conversation with the cosmos. Synchronicity cannot be forced, but it can be noticed. And noticing begins with awareness, not ordinary attention, but sacred awareness. Sacred awareness is the act of seeing with your whole being. It's when you stop rushing, stop assuming, and start listening to life. To cultivate this, begin the day in silence. Before picking up your phone, pause, breathe. Set an intention. Today, I will walk in awareness. Observe your surroundings like a dream. The tree, the color of the sky, the bird on the wire. What if they were messages crafted just for you? Practice synchronicity journaling. Every evening, write down anything unusual, repeated numbers, overheard phrases, dream images, surprising delays. Over time, a personal symbolic language will begin to emerge. By engaging in sacred awareness, you tell the universe, I'm listening. I'm ready to receive it. Intuition is the tuning fork of synchronicity. It's how you know whether a sign is real or just random noise. It's the sacred yes or no that arises before logic has time to speak. In most of us, intuition has been silenced, buried under layers of rationality and fear. To reawaken it, Practice meditation, not just to relax, but to clear internal static. Sit in stillness, breathe. Listen not with ears, but with your body. Engage in automatic writing. Ask a question, then write without thinking. Let your hand move. Often what emerges comes from a deeper place. Follow your fascinations. What symbols, topics, or places pull at your soul? Follow them. Intuition often hides inside obsession. When your intuition sharpens, you begin to recognize synchronicity, not as anomaly, but as guidance. Synchronicity flows not from control, but from surrender. One of the most powerful spiritual technologies is this: ask, wait, trust, let go. Here's how to do it. Ask a direct question to the universe, your higher self or spirit. It could be simple. Am I on the right path? What should I focus on next? Wait with open awareness. Don't obsess over the answer. Just stay present. Let go of expectations. The answer may not come how you think, but it will come through a book, a dream, a conversation, or a symbol. Trust the timing. Remember, synchronicity is rarely on your schedule. It arrives precisely when you're ready to receive it. This is the paradox. The more you chase it, the less it appears. The more you surrender, the more it reveals. Here is where most people falter. They notice synchronicity, but they don't respond. They see 11:11 and smile, but they don't pause and reflect. They hear the same advice 3 times from 3 strangers and ignore it. They feel the pull toward a new path, but resist it out of fear. But here's the truth. Synchronicity deepens when it is honored. It is a living relationship, and like any relationship, it grows with care. To honor synchronicities, write them down, keep a dedicated notebook, turn your life into scripture, speak them aloud, tell trusted spiritual companions, share the awe, take action. Even a small step, if guided by synchronicity, can open powerful new doors. When you act on a synchronicity, you are saying, I trust this language, I am aligned with the higher path. And in return, more signs appear. Ultimately, synchronicity is not just about magic, it's about transformation. Each sign carries a message. Each pattern is an invitation. Each reflection is a tool for evolution. You are not just decoding reality, you are rewriting your story through it. Ask yourself, what truth is this synchronicity pointing me toward? What part of me is being awakened by this sign? Where is life asking me to change, grow, or surrender? By asking these questions, you anchor the mystical into the practical. You turn ethereal experience into grounded wisdom. You become both the seeker and the sage. There may be times when the signs grow quiet, when the symbols fade, when life feels ordinary. This does not mean you are disconnected. It may mean you are being tested or asked to deepen your trust. Here's what to do. Recommit to your inner work. Sometimes the outer signs pause so the inner ones can speak louder. Detox from overstimulation. Too much noise, too much scrolling, too many voices can drown out synchronicity's whisper. Ask again. Sometimes all it takes is a simple prayer. Show me I am not alone. Reveal what I need to see. The signs will return, often stronger than before. Because the silence too is part of the pattern, here is a simple ritual to keep you in sync with the universe. Morning intention. Say aloud, today I walk in awareness. I welcome the signs meant for me. Midday. Reflection. Pause, breathe, and ask, have I seen a sign today? What might it be telling me? Evening recording. Write in your journal. Any repeating numbers, any symbols or dreams, any unexpected meetings or conversations, your emotional reactions to them. Over time, you'll begin to see the invisible structure behind your days. You'll feel the guidance more clearly, and you'll begin to live in flow, not against the current of destiny, but with it. A world where strange numbers appear on clocks, where strangers speak truths that stir your soul, where dreams bleed into daylight, and the timing feels too perfect to be a coincidence, but now you see it differently. Now you know. Synchronicity is not a trick of the mind. It's not random. It's not meaningless. It is a conversation between your soul and the universe, between your highest self and the intelligence that form the stars. We've traveled far in this sacred decoding. from ancient temples and esoteric teachings to the whispers of your own thoughts and dreams. You've learned the 5 types of synchronicity. Thought echoes, where your mind and reality mirror each other, repeating symbols, the sacred alphabet of the universe, divine timing, when delays become divine choreography. Living mirrors, where people reflect your deepest truth. Dream bridges, when the soul speaks in sleep and wakes the world. Each of these is a key, not to a locked door, but to a deeper dimension of life that has always been open, just waiting for you to see it. And the question now becomes, what will you do with this sight? The signs are not the destination, they're the map, the clue, the flash of light in a dark forest that says, keep going. Synchronicity is not about collecting magical moments like trophies. It's about transformation. It's about the shift that happens when you stop asking, is this real? And start saying, I'm ready. Ready to follow the breadcrumbs. Ready to trust what you feel before what you see. Ready to live in alignment with something greater than yourself. Because make no mistake, synchronicity is not passive. It calls for courage. It may ask you to quit the job, to end the relationship, to say yes to a calling that terrifies your comfort zone. And that's why many ignore the signs. Not because they don't see them, but because deep down they do, and they know the change it will require. But you're still watching, still listening, which means you are not just curious, you are being called. Here is the deepest secret of all. The signs don't come to you. They come from you. You are not just an observer of synchronicity. You are its source. The universe is not outside you, dropping clues like a puzzle master. It is you. It is your expanded self, speaking in symbols and events, aligning reality to guide you back to wholeness. When you recognize this, everything shifts. You stop chasing signs, and instead, you become one. Your life becomes the message. Your presence becomes the frequency, and others will begin to say, I had a strange feeling when I met you. You showed up at just the right moment. You were the sign I needed. Because in a world asleep to its sacredness, one awakened soul becomes a portal, a lighthouse, a living mirror for others. And that is how the chain continues. So I invite you, not just to notice synchronicity, but to live it, to walk with wonder, to speak with the unseen, to let life be not a series of tasks, but a dance of symbols. And when the signs appear, and they will, stop, breathe, and whisper back, I hear you. Then take a step forward, and another, and trust. The path is unfolding. You are not lost. You are being led. Thank you for joining me in this sacred exploration. If this message resonated with you, trust that it was meant to. Share it with others walking the same path. And remember, this journey never ends. Until next time, stay aware, stay aligned, and may the signs find you ready.